We want to be fly, and we want to have the flyest things. And if we don't have it, we're gonna take it. So I'm like, yo, don't move. Let me get all the money. So that was my first ever stay on Rikers Island. So how did I get there? Why am I on Rikers Island at 16 years old? هذا حد العالم هذا طالب هذا راسخ وإلى آخره. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. To all RipRight Hadith disciples, YouTubers, and viewers, welcome back to a new video on RipRightHD. And today I'm going over my first robbery. Now guys, listen up, we're not glorifying anything. I have a past. It's ma'aruf, it's well known that I've been in prison. Okay guys, the benefit of these stories are for you to take it and live through my experience. That way you don't have to live through it, because this stuff is serious. It's nothing to be glorified, as you see people glorifying their past, their shootings, their stabbings, and things like that. No, we ain't glorifying nothing. But we're gonna give the nasiha, the advice, sincere advice to those that you can reflect. Inshallah, stories so that you can reflect, like how Allah mentions in the Quran. He gives those stories so people could reflect. Alright, so guys, this is 16 years old, about way before I started messing with real hammers. Now, when we say hammer, we're talking about a gun. Unfortunately, at that age, everybody I would ask for a gun or try to get a gun, it was like impossible. I didn't really have the means or money to do so. Eventually, I started selling weed and building up money, but it didn't work out that way. So now this story is going to be based on, you know, or the moral is not really being materialistic. So let me tell you guys, it's so crazy. If y'all know back in the days, you know, especially the early 90s, mid 90s, you know, people would have Michael Jordan sneakers on, or they would have fly dope sneakers on. People get caught in that train station. You know, this is way before my era, but I know because I got sisters and brothers that was out there like that as well. So I know what's going on. These, you know, you come to school with some fresh sneakers, get on the train, and you're walking barefooted home because people are robbing you for sneakers and stuff like that. That's ma'ruf. That's well known in Brooklyn. So, well, you know, growing up as a kid, my mother kept us fly. You know what I'm saying? My brother was doing his one too. Eventually, once he got a little older, so he would send us stuff and keep us fly. And once he got knocked, it got a little tough. So you wasn't getting all of the stuff that you needed to get or you wanted, because why school was a fashion statement. So what I decided to do was, these Jordans was coming out. So I'm going to put up whatever Jordans they was. I don't know the number or anything, but I said in my mind, yo, listen, they're going to have long lines at King's Plaza with people trying to get these Jordans way before it's released. Yo, let's go up there. I just got this toy gun at the time, but it looked super real. So I hit my man Stitch up. I hit my man Bricks up. I'm like, yo, let's bust a move. We gonna get it. We gonna rob everybody in the line. We gonna do this. We gonna do that. So I thought I had a super duper plan. Ignorance. The worst kind of robbery is just robbing people just in the streets haphazardly. You know, when it comes to robberies, that's things that need to really be planned out. And at the time, me just wanting to get some sneakers, eventually sell some, you know, wear a pair and look fly and get some money in my pocket. It was automatic that Brooklyn is what known for stick-up kids. So once I got a hold of that toy gun, man, I'm like, yo, let's go. So it was me, Bricks, and Stitch. Now Stitch, for whatever reason at that time, he was 1 year older than me. Stitch always had bread. He always had money. And he was a thinker. You know, so Stitch didn't do no robberies with us. What he did was he went and waited in the line to go cop him some sneakers. So Bricks rode me on the handlebars all the way up to King's Plaza. So once we get up there, we go in the store, you know, in King's Plaza, but it's not looking too promising. So we like, yo, I bet we gonna get dudes going to King's Plaza to cop and people leaving with sneakers, and we gonna book them like that. We might as well. So now we see one dude And he looked like he was around our age, and then he had like a little brother with him. So I blow down on him. Yo, don't move. You know, we outside of King's Plaza, like across the street on one of those side blocks. So I'm like, yo, don't move. Let me get all the money. So he's digging and digging in his pocket. Now that I think about it, he played me crazy. Why? Because he digging and digging and digging. And I'm like, yo, give me all the bread. He pulls out a $20 bill. Yo, this all I got. Gave it to Bricks. We let them roll. Mind you, they're going to King's Plaza. So dudes is loaded, getting ready to cop those Jordans. So if a dude, this is how ignorant and foolish I was. If a dude is digging in his pocket for a certain amount of time, obviously he's trying to separate bills. But I'm not knowing. It's my first armed robbery, my first time ever approaching somebody, pulling out a hammer or whatever the case may be. So we do that. We do another robbery, like 2 of them. So from there, we like, yo, let's go back to the hood. So he's riding me back to the hood. We chilling. We got this little mountain bike, and on the back, it has like a kangaroo pouch almost, but on the back of the mountain bike, you know. So we put the hammer in there, the fake hammer, right? Because it's not real. We're not even touching real hammers at this time. So he parks up the bike, and we go in a store called Chung's. It was the corner store. You know, we got a little bit of money on us, so we feeling good. We, you know, it's still morning time too. It's dumb early. So we getting the bagel toasted with cream cheese and jelly. You know what I'm saying? And we going to the park. Boom. So we see Stitch. He on his way back. Boom. We go to the back in the park, the back of the benches. You know, we just eating. We chilling, talking. We got the bike parked up. So then all I see is police coming down the block this way. Then police coming down the block that way. Then I just start seeing, man, I got up out that park so fast. I don't know how they didn't see me. We had a thing in my hood called Danger Chambers, but it was really on the other side of the 50s. But whatever was backyards connected, we used to call them Danger Chambers. So it was my boy Pressure. We used to always, because he had to cut through, like it's a whole block, then he had to cut through to go in an alleyway to another block. So I cut through his spot on 58th, jump over, cut through another spot on 57, jump over, man. I don't know how they got me, boy. They was on my behind. I start seeing police coming from everywhere. I ended up on, I believe, 56, right in front of Dead Arm crib. Shout out to Dead Arm, my boy Skits. So when I ended up in front of his crib, they booked me. Yo, don't move. So now, you know, Stitch is following the whole situation. I don't know where they grip Bricks at, but I know they got the gun because I see it, you know what I mean? So they got the bike, they got everything. So I'm like, damn, yo, I'm down. So, you know, Stitch in the back, like, shaking his head. We, like, right by Dead Arm crib. So, boom, I gets booked. So now it's on. Because it was even though it's a fake gun, because it was, like, even pulled as, like, a real gun. It's, for example, even if you have your hand in your pocket and you tell somebody, don't move, armed robbery. So now we locked up for armed robbery. So what I do in the precinct is I take the whole weight for everything. Write a statement. Yeah, I had the gun. I did this. I did that. They don't let Bricks go. They still book them. So we ends up going all the way to Rikers Island. Now, I'm telling you, if you know anything about Rikers Island on your first time, it's scary, especially riding over that bridge. So we riding over the bridge, and I'm like, yo, what I'm gonna do? I'm going to the island. You know what I'm saying? It's about to be real. But it was a cakewalk, because I'm gonna tell you why it was a cakewalk. Because I went to the Sprungs. I'm thinking, you know, the Sprungs was a little different. It's like bubbles where it's beds spread out on everywhere. So a north side and the south side, you go in, and whatever the case is, it's a bunch of beds. You got some gangsters in there every now and again pass through before they hit the building. But the real deals, they don't even touch the sprungs. They just be going straight to the building. You know, the building is where it really go down at. You understand what I'm saying? So when I got to the sprungs, I chilled out. I was cooling for a little bit. I know it was dudes in there sneak thieving, so I had to sleep with my sneakers behind my head. It was just a lot of stuff going on. Now, guys, I ended up doing 6 months and got 5 years probation. Bricks did 30 days and got 5 years probation. So I ended up going to the 6th building. So I ended up going to 7 Main. It was 5 Main and 7 Main at that time. That's where it was lit at. You know what I'm saying? And I had ended up getting up, you know, getting my weight up as far as getting on my bully. You know what I'm saying? Knowing how to really handle myself against the odds, and teaming up with a couple of other Brooklyn cats, and we kind of like took the joint over. So that was my first ever stay on Rikers Island. So how did I get there? Why am I on Rikers Island at 16 years old? Like, for what reason? Being materialistic. So even the parents as well as the children can learn from this story. And I say that because why? As a parent, your child be 2 and 3 years old, and what you do, you put him in Jordans. You put him in expensive things, and you get him spoiled and used to certain things, and you make him think that school, going outside and everything is a fashion statement. And that's just how it is where we from. We want to be fly, and we want to have the flyest things, and if we don't have it, we're going to take it. So mothers and fathers, man, even if you have it, you don't know when times are going to get rough. Keep it simple. Instill those jewels into your kids and those lessons that it's not about what you got on. You understand what I'm saying? And that was the biggest mistake when it came to my first robbery, but it wasn't my last, guys. Stay tuned, stay rip, 6-pack, big bag.
Indeed, in the body, literal translation, is a lump of flesh, a piece of meat. إِذَا صَلَحَتْ صَلَحَ الْجَسَدُ كُلُّهُ. And when that lump of flesh